up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and you're watching the Red Cup Podcast, where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks because this is where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. And I want to say happy Wednesday, happy hump day to everybody. Thank you for pulling up. I see everybody in the chat. How are you guys doing? How am I, Patty? What's up, you guys? How are you guys doing? I miss you guys. Your car. What's going on? One of my favorite mods. What's going on? Everybody in the chat. What's going on, Magnetar? All of my mods. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. As you come in, please let me know if you're new to the podcast or the show, however you want to call it. But if you're new, let me know. Let me know how to pronounce your name, okay? Because some of y'all have these names I just can't. So let me know how to pronounce your name and let me know where you're from, okay? But thank you to everybody that pulled up. What's going on, Outlaw? Another one of my mods, my favorite mods. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. All right. So today is Wednesday. And when I tell you the last day or so, I just been kind of looking at everything that's been happening in pop culture and in politics. And I'm telling you right now, I don't see a good run for the Democrats, okay? Especially here in the DMV area. Virginia is wild right now. And then I don't see a good run for the Democrats really in a lot of different places. I see another run of the red, okay? That's all I see. All right. Now Pennsylvania might be a different thing. You have a couple of Democrats that, the right can stand. So Pennsylvania might be a different thing, but across the board, I don't see it. However, we're going to get into some things today. What we're going to get into is Ilhan, okay? Ilhan is a whole liar, but we'll get into that. We're going to get into Ilhan. We're going to get into Tom Homan. We're going to get into Tiffany Cross. And we're going to get into, of course, ICE, all right? Because for some reason, this thing will not die, all right? ICE is just a big thing right now. And, I know a lot of sides feel a certain way about ICE, depending on, your political stance, depending on who you support. But I can tell you right now, ICE is definitely needed, all right? We can do things better. All right. It's not above critique, but I will say, those of you saying abolish ICE, you're out your rabbit minds. All right. I voted for ICE. I'm letting you know that right now. I voted for ICE. Point blank, period. So thank you guys for coming in. I see you guys coming in. Thank you. We're going to do a roll call in a little bit, but let me go ahead and acknowledge the super chat. Thank you so much, Eric Harris, with the $5 super chat. Mika, what up on Fort Lauderdale? Oh, I love Fort Lauderdale. I absolutely love Fort Lauderdale. It's one of my favorite places in Florida. A lot of my family lives in Miami and Clearwater. Yep. So I am aware, but I'm here in Maryland where it's freezing, like freezing. So lucky you. Thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate you. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get it started. I want to go ahead and start with a couple of shots. All right. You guys know how I do it. We don't spend a lot of time on it, but I thought you should be aware of some of this nonsense. But the first thing that I'm going to bring up is not nonsense. Okay. Now, you guys know I am a huge fan. Some of y'all do not like this, and I do not care, but I love you anyway. I am a huge fan of Nicki Minaj. And today, Nicki Minaj and the president of the United States decided that they were going to team up. I want you guys to see what happened today at the White House. All right. Here we go.
Hello. Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more.
Absolutely.
And it's going to motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work. Okay? He has a lot of force behind him, and God is protecting him.
Absolutely.
Amen. Okay.
Nicki is a whole fool. But that is what Nicki Minaj had to say today. Okay. Now here's the thing. Nicki Minaj has gotten so much backlash because she is quote unquote MAGA, because she supports the president. All right. And honestly and truly, I don't believe that, Nicki Minaj is a ultra conservative or, a diehard Republican, but values are values and right is right. And so when you stand up for something, you stand 10 toes down on it. And so I am absolutely proud of Nicki Minaj. So I wanted to share that with you guys because Nicki Minaj did a great, great job today. Now that we're done with people that I adore, I want to get into people that are just buffoons. Okay. DL, rightfully so. DL Hughley, when I tell you, I normally would say take the mic away, but DL Hughley will use any apparatus with, some type of speaker because he has to let us hear him rant and rave like he's part of the 92%. Okay? He's a grown man, an older man, and he absolutely still doesn't get it. I want you to hear what DL Hughley had to rant and rave about again for the 1000th time because he's definitely Trump deranged, unfortunately. Here we go.
Killed more Americans in 2026. ICE has killed more Americans in 2026 than illegal immigrants have.
Now, really quick, D.L. Hughley said that ICE has killed more Americans, or I should say unalived. ICE has unalived more Americans than any illegal immigrant. You can't make this stuff up. D.L. Hughley knows the numbers, okay? You guys know I'm a numbers person. Yeah, D.L. Hughley knows the numbers and the facts, okay? Absolutely not. Here we go. So in this video, as you can see right there, this is, and shout out to Gotham City, okay? Ghetto Gotham City. List of Americans unalived by illegal immigrants. And that is what you're seeing right there, okay? Which I'm sure, even if you take, the Renee Good and the Alex Petty or Pretty, however you pronounce it, even if you take those, that still doesn't add up to this, okay? And I'm sure it's way more than that, just not reported. So as you can see, those are all of the names. And this is just, this was just updated in January, which is this month, on the 21st. So these are all of the names. And like I said, it's probably way more than this, but those are all the names. It's muted. I had to put it on mute because copyright. And they got me on Monday with my opening. So we're going to put it on mute. However, but these are all the names. Okay. These are all the names. So at the end of the day, I don't understand what D.L. Hughley is talking about. D.L. Hughley is absolutely out of his mind. And D.L. Hughley knows that he's incorrect, but, you know, he's part of the boule. He's a Kamala supporter, okay? He likes Sleepy Joe, all right? He supports the auto pen. He supports illegals. He supports everything that isn't Trump because he's Trump deranged, and he doesn't care about anything else, all right? D.L. Hughley used to be a talented comedian. Some say they found him funny, some say they didn't. However, he used to be very talented and he used to use his talents. Now he's just Trump deranged. He sits on the radio all day and he sits on his old man phone all day, just ranting and raving about Donald Trump and white supremacy. Okay, white supremacy and Donald Trump. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. Because if you felt a certain way, you would actually go out there and try to do something. What are you doing other than being a keyboard warrior? Or in your case, a speaker warrior, because you're just talking. You're just talking. He does absolutely nothing. But you guys, that is D.L. Hughley. Okay. Now, last but not least, I want to get into this. I want to get into this white liberal woman. Okay. White liberal women have been on a rampage for the last 4.5 years. All right. And they are not letting up. Their Gucci boots are everywhere. And now they are bothering the White House press secretary. This lady right here is a nurse. I want you guys to see what this nurse had to say online, mind you, while she has a job, actually a career as a nurse. Throws it all away to be Trump deranged. Okay? I want you guys to see this. Here we go.
As a labor and delivery nurse, it gives me great joy to wish Caroline Levitt a 4th-degree tear. I hope that you fucking rip from bow to stern and never shit normally again, you cunt. As a labor and delivery nurse, it gives me great joy to wish Caroline Levitt a 4th-degree tear. I hope that you fucking rip from bow to stern and never shit normally again, you cunt.
That is what a OBGYN nurse had to say about the White House press secretary that is pregnant. Just the nastiest things. Somebody is carrying life, and all you can think about is whether the person carrying life is a Trump supporter or not. Okay? White liberal women are just absolutely going insane. Blue hair or not. All right. So now I just want to get into this Fox News story about this entire thing, but I wanted to show you that first. Here's the news story on it.
To the baby boom in the Trump cabinet, but I think a real sort of cultural shift that they see happening in America, where the messages of feminism about don't have a family, kids are a burden, are starting to get rejected. And young people are starting to go, you know what, I want to have a family and I can have a powerful career, just like you see here, Caroline Levitt, who's now pregnant with her second. Get this, there is a nurse who put online a TikTok video. Her name is Lexi Lawler. And she's a labor and delivery nurse, believe it or not, out in Boca Raton. And she said this when she learned about Caroline Levitt having another baby. She says, as a labor and delivery nurse, it gives me great joy to wish Caroline Levitt a 4th-degree tear. And she went on to say some other crude things about basically hoping that Caroline Levitt has a very painful and delivery that causes her lots of future medical problems. This is disgusting stuff, you guys.
Yeah, it's a real mental illness, and it goes beyond just the concept that dudes can get pregnant. It goes to a very broken heart and a hatred, a level of hatred that, and I guess some of it is probably exacerbated by the fact that this is on TikTok and it's online and people think that they can just say things and that it has no meaning because it's all like online or whatever. But you have to be a seriously corrupted human to say something like that, especially when you work in an emergency room where you deliver babies, you know what all of this means, and the specificity of her wish is what is, to me, is kind of the most heartbreaking.
Imagine
part
having
of all.
her as your nurse.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
and it's worth pointing out, during the first Trump administration, we saw similar things of this vitriol against Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Yeah.
Remember, they were running her out of restaurants, and the vitriol was there. But now, with this incident against Caroline Levitt, it's a level of vitriol that really people need to be widely condemning it, and you're not seeing wide condemnation of it.
No, well, she did get fired, but it's
Good.
definitely troubling. And you're right, Charlie. Something's wrong with that lady's heart, and she should not be in labor and delivery.
Absolutely, something's wrong with her heart, and as she should have been. Okay, she was fired. All right, the lady who was the labor and delivery, she was fired for those nasty comments that she said on TikTok. I mean, and she came back and doubled down. Okay, like if I wanted to go deeper, I could have played about 3 more, because she came back and doubled down about, saying what she said. Okay, she stood on it. Now she's fired. Absolutely, as she should be, because this woman here is absolutely disgusting. Because we're talking about someone's health and birth, but yet all she cares about is Orange Man bad. And this is what we're dealing with in the United States today. Okay, you can't have a baby unless we know if you voted for Kamala or not. All right, absolutely. So I'm so glad that they fired her. Okay, because she should not be a nurse at all. And I'm so glad that we as Americans are starting to point this out, because it's absolutely disgusting. So you guys get that in the comments and let me know what you think about the shots today. Okay, let me know what you think about the nurse going at Caroline Levitt for being pregnant and being Trump's White House press secretary, and she hopes she gets a 4th degree tear. You can't make it up with these white liberals. And then let me know what you think about D.L. Hughley and his feminist rant, per usual. And then let me know what you think about Miss Nicki Minaj, okay, speaking at the White House, all right? And Nicki Minaj also has a remake of her song, Super Bass, out on Apple. And when I tell you, it's probably going to go, if not already, #1. Nicki knows what she's doing, But you guys get down in the comments and you let me know what you think about it. All right. So let's go ahead, and now that we got everybody pretty much coming in, let's go ahead and start the conversation with our cover story. Let's go ahead and start with Miss Ilhan Omar. Okay. So if you guys don't know, Ilhan Omar, okay, the racist, Ilhan Omar was, dare I say, attacked. Okay. I have a lot to say about this. So I want to get right into it, because you guys already know I don't like her. I don't like her or the Somalis that do all of the scamming. All right. I think she is a racist. And I think she's also Trump deranged. And because I never see her hair and I know she's smooth brain, it's all bald-headed reasoning to me. All right. Just utterly stupid nonsense instead of serving her constituents. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. Let's go ahead and get into her neighborly brother. All right. Here we go.
Why do you think you were targeted?
I can just assume. I mean, I come really, really hard against 45. I come really, really hard against his administration. And I don't hold my tongue.
I want to ask you about Jesse Smollett.
I think that's horrible. It doesn't get worse, as far as I'm concerned.
Were you aware that he made that statement?
I saw it. I don't know what to say to that.
Oh.
I appreciate him not brushing over it.
And there is no doubt in your mind what motivated this attack.
I could only go off of their words.
What they say? What did they say?
I mean, who says empire, this MAGA country?
Now, Smouye, no, look, Juicy Smollett absolutely understands that nobody said that to him. And we know how the story ends. But I have to go back to this because this has to be, okay, Omar's brother. All right, this has to be. Because when I tell you that this is the vibe that I got, okay? Nobody, and I do mean nobody, is in the south side of Chicago with MAGA hats on and they're wide. Absolutely not. And so this is what I got, okay? This is what I get. We had Smollett Gate, and now we got Somali Gate, okay? This is MAGA country. MAGA. Child, please. Here is Miss Representative Ilhan. I can never pronounce her name right, okay? Because I want to say something else. So here she is at a town hall. Now, I'm going to show you different angles. But I want you to watch her motion to the gentleman in the front, okay? The robust gentleman in the front, all right? Looking at Ilhan, okay? Who we're going to come to know as the white racist that attacked her. Here we go.
Abolishment of the agency. ICE cannot be reformed. It cannot be rehabilitated. We must abolish ICE for good.
Watch her.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. I don't know.
Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing. No, we will continue.
No. Ilhan, you need to go get checked.
No, we will continue. These fucking assholes are not going to get away with it.
You need to go get checked. No, you don't know what.
So, what this teaches me is if you're ever at your job and you want to get out of a meeting, this is how you do it, okay? You get a white racist, okay? You get him to sit in the front. And what you do is you have him get a syringe. Who came up with this? This is about as bad as Smollett, okay? Smollett had in 30-degree weather some bleach, a noose, and a tuna sandwich. She has a syringe full of, I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. But apparently he flicked the liquid on her. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And then everybody is, oh my God, please go and figure out if you're okay. She will be fine. She is from Somali. I'm sure she's seen worse. All right. She's absolutely fine. So I want to go ahead and get into this next video because you're going to see this at a different angle. Now, here we go. You guys, look who's in the front right here. Look at him. Just look at him. Okay. You guys got to find better actors. All right. With Smollett, it was, the two Nigerian brothers, okay, who are swole. And now you got this rotund white man sitting in the front. And I'm pretty sure that's what he threw on her as well. But he also he's just drinking, like, this is absolutely insane. But here we go.
And round of applause for Congresswoman Omar's staff who's here. Hi everyone, I'm Hennepin County. And round of applause for Congresswoman Omar's staff who's here.
So you want me to believe that this gentleman right here, okay, concocted some sort of plan to take down Ilhan at a town hall. Okay. He has one of the most expensive waters in life. And you want me to believe that this is just a random, the racist. This is absolutely insane. It's all staged. Okay. He's waiting for cues, as you can see, while sipping his Fiji water. But they think that we don't understand this.
Here. So, hi everyone. I'm Hennepin County. And round of applause.
It's just absolutely insane. So again, you have Ilhan saying that she is going to fight back, and CNN is just blowing this thing up. And I do mean they're blowing this thing up. I want you guys to see one of the reports right after. Here we go.
As we leave the town hall, Ilhan Omar is being checked out now to make sure that she is okay medically. But boy, after a man jumped up to spray something from a syringe, we've now looked at it, looks like a syringe, she cocked her arm back and went for him. But her security detail got to him first, and then she continued her town hall telling me, I'm built like that. I've been through war. I will not be intimidated.
What did I say? What did I say? She is from Somali. Okay. I'm pretty sure she has seen worse than a syringe filled with what looks like to be washback Fiji water. But yet, the mainstream media just keeps replaying this, and they want us to believe that, it's all of a sudden something that we need to contend with. This is absolutely staged. I want to get into let's see, more CNN nonsense. All right, here we go.
They can throw at me because I'm built that way.
Thank you. Representative Omar, are you okay?
I'm gonna go figure if I am, but I feel okay. I feel that it is important for people, whether they are in elected office or not, to allow these people to intimidate us, to make us not fight for our constituents and for the country we love. And as I said, I've survived war, and I'm definitely going to survive intimidation and whatever these people think they can throw at me, because I'm built that way.
Thank you.
I'm built that way. The Somalis are talking as if they're tough. Okay, cool. Cool. I also just happened to find, a video of not only her brother Smule, but her sister. Here we go.
So I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American, but it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice. People don't really see, like, it's people don't think, oh, you can eat bananas with rice, but that's what it's like to be Somali and American. It's like that combination of banana and rice, but you're gonna get what I mean.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh my God. I can't. You guys, who are you guys voting for? Okay. I can sit here and I can laugh, but it's no laughing matter. That woman, Ilhan, okay, was at a town hall. Okay? She has major, and I do mean major, support inside of Minnesota. All right? She has a big and I do mean big, group of constituents that are not only Somali, but progressives that support her every move. So now you have the Somali fraud, and now you have, she's upset about things with the NGOs. She's upset about ICE. They all want ICE out. I'm telling you right now, we have to pay attention to the people that we actually put in office. And the people that we put in office actually have to work for us. Now, let's be clear. She does work for her constituents, but her constituents are not the Americans. It is the Somalis that are like this. Okay? Absolutely insane. Using our tax dollars to fund this nonsense, to fund all of these types of groups and people that absolutely do not care about America. And that includes, the white progressives, all right, that don't care about America. All they care about is pushing back on Donald Trump. So you guys, you have to actually watch what you're voting for. And I don't even care if you're liberal. You still have to watch the liberals that you vote for. Not last week, on Monday, we talked about Jasmine Crockett and Tarico. Tarico is who they want. They do not want Jasmine Crockett. But the 92% are pushing, okay? Roland and his crew that votes like a black woman, they are pushing for these types of policies, for these types of people, without looking at the consequence of doing that, without looking at what voting for a Jasmine Crockett, a Ilhan, what that does to the communities, in particular, the Black and brown communities that the Democrats claim that they love so much. I still haven't seen an ounce of that love that they say they have, because Minnesota's a mess right now, as we know. Okay? Elmer Fudge, aka Tim Sugar Walls, is not going to do anything about it, and neither is Ilhan. And they don't want to answer these questions. That's why they stage all this stuff. And then also they want to go ahead and say, look, ICE agents are causing this, mass hysteria. We have MAGA people. I can tell you right now, a MAGA person could not sit through an Ilhan Omar speech. That person had to be liberal and hired by the liberals. I can guarantee it. They were not a MAGA person. Who is sitting through 20 minutes of Ilhan Omar trying to get through one sentence? The subject and the predicate she don't get it. And neither does her sister. One more time.
So I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American, but it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice.
Absolutely not. You guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about this whole thing, because I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a play all year. We're going to be dealing with this all year, okay? And we got to learn how to deal with the bananas and rice, because if we don't learn how to deal with the bananas and rice, we might be dealing with bananas and rice the next 3 years, okay? These elections are very important. So please, if you don't want to keep hearing about bananas and rice, you guys, even if you're liberal, I'm conservative, but even if you're liberal, vote anybody else. You know how you guys like to say anybody else. But Ilhan and the rest of that insane Democratic crew up there in Minnesota. Y'all have to change how you're voting. But I could be wrong. So get down in the comments and let me know what you think about all of that. Let me know what you think about Ilhan Omar and her syringe of water splashing all over her body. and going to get checked out and saying she's about that life. That's what she said. That's not what I said. She said she's about that life. And, you know, if she had to swing, she was going to swing because she's seen worse. She's dealt with worse coming from Somali. So she's never scared. That's what she said. You guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about it. All right. Let me go ahead and read these super chats because I'm telling you, I can't with none of this nonsense. It's insane and wild. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into it. I think I got this one right here. All right. Here we go. Crying Free Man X. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. You've been moving good through all of the drama. Very classy. Proud of you, Ma. Thank you. I got to. Nobody gets to take my crown. I only take it off when I want to take it off. And that's because I know what I did do and what I didn't do, who I am and who I'm not. So a bunch of lies don't bother me. Not at all. They're not stopping anything over here. So let them talk. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's see. Let's get to the next super chat. 1302. I'm sorry, 1320. Bush Show. $2 super chat. She thinks we are stupid as her uncle and her dad and her sister and her brother, Jesse Smollett and Banana Rice Girl. Yeah, they think we're dumb. They think we don't understand, you know, that their policies don't have anything to do with us. Okay. They're all towards immigration. Okay. And not legal immigration. They're all towards illegal coming into the country and replacing the actual constituents. And that's black and white, but preferably the black and brown ones first. That's just the way it is. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Executive Suite MLE, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Coincidence that all of the people next to the guy were photographers who immediately started taking pictures. No one was startled or shaken up. F out of here. Let me tell you something. She actually nodded. That's why I told you guys to watch her face, right? She kind of, you know, while she was talking, she nodded like this. He got up. Nobody was scared of a rotund, white, liberal man with a syringe, okay? Nobody was scared. Absolutely not. The Gucci boots knew he was coming. They knew. Everybody's in on it, okay? Everybody's in on it. It was staged. We know it. Just ridiculous. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Let's get to this one here. $2 super chat from 320. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ilhan, what? Smouye? Ilhan Smouye. Yes, that's exactly who she is, because that's what it gave. It gave the same thing. You know, I go really hard at 45. Like, remember he was the gay Tupac? I'm shut up. Thank you for that super chat. Chris Monroe, STL, $2 super chat. Thank you. This shows that voting works, Mika. Oh, you're right. You're right. Thank you so much. Quan 345 or 345. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. The Classic Codes channel invited you to a woman's panel. Conservative and liberals are the parties of old times unite. The parties of old times unite and start a grassroots. Well, here's the thing. I think, well, I know, you know, the history of the, you know, Republican Party. The Democrats, I don't care, white or black. It's not a party. We live in a republic. I don't care how many people hate hearing that. We live in a republic, And I would never. I just would never. The independents, they need more funding. We need to get, honestly and truly, we just need to get lobbyists and, corporate PACs and who else out of politics, and let it be grassroots campaigns from the people. We can get back to actually having them do and work for the people. That's really what we need. The parties is just, nice little cute labels, whatever. But it's the values behind it. All right. I don't care that it's called the Republican Party. Right. I understand why it's called the Republican Party, because this is a republic. But I really don't care about the name of the party. I care about the values of the party, and the values of the Democrat Party do not align with mine. So that's why I would never. And without the rhinos in the Republican Party, it would be a great party. And I do think we need other opposition parties, right? This is America, and we should have a lot of different voices. So yes, I agree on that faction. And a women's panel is awesome. Okay. Tell them to email me. My email's in the description. Thank you so much for that super chat. Let's see here. Oh, hey, what's up, Construct Icon? 199 super chat. Mika, she's a teacher for US and Puerto Rico. Let me tell you guys something. I'm just going to say this real quick, and then we're going to get back to it. I don't know where y'all got the Puerto Rican from. I have never been Puerto Rican in my life. Okay, I'm not Puerto Rican. I am part Cuban. Okay, so that's the Latino part of me, but Puerto Rican, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I go to Puerto Rico when I want to go to the rainforest, but outside of that, no. My family's on my dad's side is Cuban. So if you see somebody put it up, I am Cuban. But I appreciate you, Construct. Thank you so much. I saw that. I was like, Puerto Rican. Not you, Construct, but I keep seeing that on the internet, and I'm just like, I'm not Puerto Rican. But thank you. Oh my gosh, Black TV, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. I see ya. Let's see here. Did I get all of them? Correct, T-Brew. Thank you. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and move forward. Thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate you. I'm telling you, I appreciate you. And thank you, Mike, that dude on Cash App. I did see it come through. So thank you so much. Let's go ahead and get into some of these next topics, because, oh my gosh. Not Cuban Link. Y'all are wild. All right, let's go ahead and get into some of these next topics. I want to get into, let's go Tom Homan. Yeah, let's go Tom Homan real quick, because Tom Homan is causing a stir in Minnesota. All right. Now, if you guys don't know, Donald Trump decided to send Tom Homan to Minnesota. Tom Homan is the border czar. All right. Tom Homan has served under multiple presidents, including Barry, aka Barack Obama. All right. And he even received a medal under Barack Obama for his great work in immigration. If it was good enough for the quote unquote first Black president, it should be good enough for Donald Trump. But as we all know, it's just Trump derangement. If Donald Trump does it, it's Orange Man bad. If Barack Obama does it, it's with due process, even though the ACLU said it wasn't due process. But, we don't care about facts, do we? Let's go ahead and get into what Tom Homan is doing in Minnesota. And let's go ahead and get into him arguing with Mika. Unfortunately, we have the same name. She is also Polish. Mika Brzezinski. Let's go ahead and get into them going back and forth about this very thing, about ICE and about criminal illegal aliens in these sanctuary cities, and why Minnesota is just doing the wrong thing when it comes to ICE. Here we go.
I see on the show this morning you have Governor Healy talking about ICE doing enforcement operations at a church. False. Didn't happen.
They were parked there. They did not do an operation there. She said they were parked in a public space legally.
But to say that and to push that out there puts fear in the immigrant community. So let me tell you what's happening.
To do that puts fear in the community. Right. To park the ICE agent's vehicle
they're on a
near
public
a church.
street.
They
they're
are
on a public street.
She said
they're on a public street
sir.
waiting to respond to a criminal alien release pulled aside the road. Let me tell you, in the last couple of days, what's happened in Boston. They've arrested Victor Gomez Perez, a 33-year-old criminal alien from Guatemala, with charges of aggravated rape, assault and battery with dangerous weapon, indecent assault and battery on a victim 14 years or younger. They arrested Kaylee Espinosa, a 33-year-old criminal alien from Colombia, with charges of aggravated assault on a pregnant victim. They arrested Joshua Gonzalez, a 23-year-old criminal alien from Dominican Republic, with charges for trafficking heroin, morphine, opium, resisting police.
Now, I love when Tom does this. This is why we are sending, well, why he's there now, why he's in Minnesota. Because Tom understands exactly what's going on. So, you know, since Tom is in Minnesota, what he got. Tom is direct about these illegal immigrants, and Tom is direct about the criminal element. Because for some reason, the Gucci boot white liberals don't understand that this is a serious matter. This was what the protest was against Tim Walz for working with Tom Homan, and, of course, against Tom Homan and ICE. Now, what they are talking about, of course, is the justice that they want for Renee Good and, of course, Alex Pretty. Okay. Now, again, they want to abolish ICE. They want ICE out, even though, let's be clear, you can have your feelings about both incidents. ICE is still doing a great job. Okay. Border Patrol is doing wonderful because the type of element that they're getting off the streets, we won't have to hear about little girls and young women being snatched up off the street. We won't have to hear about gangs that already, don't exist in America coming over here where they're much more violent than the ones we already have, breaking into people's homes, doing home invasions, other nefarious things. But again, white liberals and Somalis that have nothing to do are protesting against this in Minnesota. Now, Tim Sugar Walz decides to speak about all of this, speak about ICE, Tom, Trump, of course. I want you guys to hear what liberals are saying about all of this going on inside of Minnesota.
I'm wondering, if you think that's a satisfactory change for starters, and when you meet with them, what you're going to ask them about.
Well, look, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And Tim, I think you recognize this, and I think you have the vibe, if you will, of this one on this. This White House makes decisions based on emotions and non-reality that we're living in. I am in a position right now where I want to be very careful to continue to stand up, and we won't give an inch, but not to poke the bear. We don't need it. My hope is with Tom Homan is different from Greg Bobino and these folks on the streets that are just amateurs, that he is a true, law enforcement professional. I certainly wouldn't agree with his ideology on things, but I think what he understands is this thing turned into a disaster for them. Their most popular issue on immigration, the bottom has fallen out on them. And look, I would like to think humanity is why they called me and said, we want to get out of this, but you and I both know it's probably not what it was. But I don't care. Whatever it takes you to, at this point, to get to the right space. And so my guess is that Tom Homan understands if you really want to enforce immigration, if you really want to get the worst of the worst, you coordinate with local folks, you coordinate with our BCA, and you pick these people up when they're not suspecting it in the middle of the night where no shots are fired. You heard the police chief in say that we've taken 900 guns off the streets in Minneapolis last year and didn't fire a single shot. Same thing with my state troopers. So look, I think this is an opportunity. I think the politics for the White House is they cannot afford to see tear gas on the streets, and they certainly can't afford to see another incident like we saw on Saturday morning. So I think they're serious about this.
Let's be clear, okay? The cultist that is Tim Sugar Walls, along with the Democrats and the state house that has a satanic statue right in the middle of it. For them to talk about humanity is absolutely insane. All right. We went over that the last episode, all right, about that state house statue. They're not interested in humanity because they're not even doing illegals any justice. Multiple children are left at the border. Multiple children are sold into SEX, SEX work. You got to watch YouTube. They're sold into that. They're sold into, trafficking as far as labor, which is why the liberals don't like you showing up at their vineyards, okay, or their farms. And then when they get their agricultural grants snatched from them, they want to cry foul, but they have illegals, and not only that, mostly children and young adults working. Where are they coming from? So not only do they do a disservice to Americans, they do a disservice to the people they quote unquote care about in humanity, because they don't actually care about them either. I told you, whatever they serve, it's not a part of light. Not at all. And that's why I could never, and I do mean never, vote for one of these people. And I'm going to leave it at that. So that's what Tim Sugar Walls had to say about that. Now, the thing about all of this is Tom Homan is really honestly trying to cool down the temperature. Donald Trump is trying to cool the temperature, okay? Everybody's trying to cool the temperature because of everything that has happened. But we all know we have, those Democrats that love to fan the flames. And of course, none other than our very own Rebel Stillskin, Miss Nancy Pelosi, all right, the crypt keeper that just won't go, all right? Let's hear the interview with this vampire about Minnesota and what's been happening. Here we go.
Goes on. We're here to honor the members of Alex Freddie, as we know, and Renee Nicole Good, who were assassinated by the DHS in Minnesota. All people of conscience must speak out about these horrific, cold-blooded murders we all saw with our very own eyes.
Did you, Nancy?
Again, my papas, thank you for what the Interfaith Council has been doing in this regard for a very long time, and now today with the reality of Minnesota. These deaths were not accidents. They were not unavoidable. They were the result of a federal DHS that is completely out of control and operating with secret impunity and contempt for human life. Alex Freddie and Renee Nicole Good should be alive today. Their families should not be grieving. Their community should not be traumatized. And yet we are mourning lives taken.
Where's her scooter? Where's her scooter?
Lawless masked federal agents who are sworn to, they're supposed to protect, not terrorize the American people. We stand with the people of Minneapolis. We stand with the local law enforcement and thank leadership for trying to keep their community safe while federal agents sow chaos and fear. And we say clearly, ICE and CBP operations in Minnesota must cease and desist immediately for the safety of all.
Are we listening to Nancy or Kamala? Because that was a drunken mess. Okay. Y'all can blame that on age, I know Milwaukee's best when I see it. You guys, at the end of the day, the Democrats, they're hoping, and these are my thoughts here. All right, they're hoping that we all, left, right, we get the clashing. Something big breaks out. We can't get the country together. We can't move forward and make progress. And thus you put them back in because you feel that Donald Trump and anybody that's a part of the Republican Party or that leans to the right cannot handle the country. They get back in, and then we're back in the same mess that we were in the last 4 years. All right. We're back owing this, owing that, taxes through the roof. We're back doing the same nonsense. I even see some liberals actually waking up, and I'm glad for you. But we got to do better than just waking up. You have to actually put pen to paper. You got to actually go out and actually make these people feel your presence. You can't just argue at them online. The Crypt Keeper does not even look at she doesn't look at a phone. The last time she looked at a phone, it said BlackBerry. She doesn't look at these things. She doesn't care. She's at one of her vineyards. All right. So these people do not care. They're already rich. They're getting money from these lobbyists. They don't care. And you can throw the rhinos in right with them. All right. You got to look at these Republicans that are doing a good job, and you got to throw out the rhinos that will side with neocon Democrats like them, just like Nancy, or the ones that just let everybody run amok like Tim Sugar Walls. But then we'll do these long press conferences to tell you that they really care about the people. They absolutely do not care about the people. They don't care about anything we have going on. And that is a fact. But that was Tom Homan and Tim Walz discussing how they're going to get Minnesota back on track. We shall see. We shall see. I'm going to be, watching this continuously. And I hope someone gets Nancy her scooter back, because that speech was just horrible. Absolutely horrible. You guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about Tom Homan, what you think about the protesters showing up to protest against Tom Homan. Then let me know what you think about what Tim Walz had to say about his collaboration with Tom Homan and the thugs of ICE on the street. And then let me know, again, what you think about Nancy, because it's all stupid. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into the super chats really quick, and then we're going to move into the last portion. Let's see here. The Genius CEO, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And Mika, we trust. Don't forget the people. We love you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I really do. I really do. And did I get them? I think I got them all. Because I see them sometimes and then I accidentally skip. So I don't want to accidentally skip anybody. But I'm going to go back through them. But thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. All right. Let's get to... Did I do that one? Yeah, I did that one. Yep. All right. So you guys, let's get to... I want to get to this election stuff in Georgia, because I want to say, I told you so. And when I say I told you so, I told you so. All right. So if you have been, I've been on YouTube now for a year. All right. A whole year. And I came on like right before the election season. And when I tell you that it was just wild, it was wild, like absolutely wild. And I had so many arguments with people trying to tell me that I didn't see what I saw in the 2020 election, and that I didn't see what I saw in the 2024 election. There's no way you guys were going to tell me that Joe Biden, okay, racist Joe Biden that still showers with his daughter at 35 and she's 15, okay, that Joe Biden that sniffs hair, Joe Biden that trips up the steps, that Joe Biden that does and did the eulogy at a former KKK member's funeral, got more votes than the quote-unquote first black president, Barry, aka Barack Obama. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You cannot tell me that is a fact. He got the most votes in history. Just for giggles, okay? That is about the most boring white man I ever seen in my life. I could name tons of them that are way more interesting than Joe Biden. I mean, who come Delaware? Stop it. Joe Biden was absolutely not engaging to the public, okay? Y'all didn't want that man. And y'all didn't vote for him. And that's why we're here right now talking about this. So let's go ahead and get into what is happening in Georgia, okay? Because 2020 has come back to bite liberals in the you-know-what. Here we go.
FBI agents are on site at a Fulton County election office in Georgia, where they are conducting a search. David Spunt's got more details for us on this developing story. David,
tell us.
Hi, Sandra. This is a satellite office for the Fulton County Elections Office. The FBI Atlanta press office confirming this, not giving many details, saying that the FBI is executing a court-authorized law enforcement action. No other details at this time, but we do know via sources a judge signed off on this warrant, allowing these agents, as you see them, enter this building to take items from the inside. Now, we're told that this is a sealed matter before the court, meaning details are now limited. Now, agents are looking at documents, phones, computers. We are told via multiple sources this is related to the 2020 presidential election. Now, we don't know specifically what agents are taking to the FBI lab, items that may eventually become part of a federal case. You may remember President Trump was charged in Fulton County with trying to overturn the 2020 election results. That's Brad Raffensperger right there. He is the Secretary of State of Georgia. That is the Fulton County District Attorney, Fani Willis. Now, Raffensperger spoke to President Trump back in early 2021, and Trump said that he wanted to find some 11,000 votes to help win the election. Raffensperger said that he felt pressure from Trump. Willis then took Donald Trump to trial. That didn't happen. In 2023, she said that her prosecution was all buttoned up, ready to go, but it was completely derailed after it was revealed she had an intimate relationship with the top prosecutor on her team, and it could have tainted the case. Late last year, a judge dismissed the case in its entirety. It's important to point out, Sandra, that a judge typically would not just sign off on a warrant so the FBI could go on what's known as a fishing expedition. It's likely the FBI and DOJ presented some credible evidence to the judge for the judge to go ahead and give the green light. No immediate comment from the Justice Department. Again, the FBI confirming this court-authorized search warrant. We are waiting to see if perhaps Director Kash Patel, Attorney General Pam Bondi, or even Secretary Raffensperger, or perhaps Governor Brian Kemp have anything to say.
So essentially what this means is Donald Trump was right. Okay, Donald Trump was absolutely right. So go ahead and get all the files. We want to see all of these things because there's absolutely no way that Joe Biden beat Donald Trump. Okay, no way, absolutely no way. Joe Biden and Kamala, please. Miss Curry don't even know about. I digress. Let's go ahead and get into more about this fraud and what actually took place. Here we go.
Commentators allege voter fraud. The allegations came after on December 9th hearing before the Georgia State Election Board and Brumbaugh attorney for Fulton County Board of Registration Elections, said that some of the ballots were counted, lacked required poll worker signature during the 2020 election. Vote tabulation tapes are signed to verify the accuracy of votes before they are transported to a central office and used for auditing the ballot, because there is no evidence that the ballots were not legitimate because they weren't signed. And some commentators noted that this was procedural lapse. A recounted hand audit of ballots in Georgia at the time confirmed Joe Biden won the debate. In the hearing, the lawyer said, did not dispute that the tapes were not signed. It was a violation of the rule. She said President Trump and his allies have consistently claimed without evidence that the 2020 election was stolen from President Joe Biden, did not win in Georgia and other states. Trump claimed that the ballots were duplicated and that there were other voter fraud issues in the county. Vinny, what have you learned about this story?
And Humberto,
this is a Newsweek story I just read.
Yeah, I put it in to Rob's Slack. You'll see the girl in court, and she's admitting to it. Look at the Slack that I Slack Rob. But I want everybody to remember, not only was Trump saying it, when we were all saying it, when you were watching voting. Yes, thanks. Humberto, hold on 1 second. When we were talking about cheating in Georgia, and this is Fannie Willis, this whole situation, okay? And let's not forget, Joe Biden won Georgia by 11,779 votes, okay? Now, 5 years later, they're admitting 315,000 votes were illegally counted.
300,000. 300,000. That is huge. That's huge. That's one liberal city. The way he butchered that woman's name is insane. Now, I'm going to bring this up. Don't worry about the mouth, okay? It's not my problem that she didn't get her work done. This woman, the reason why I have part of her on the screen right now is because she helped in this and even got honored later by Joe Biden and Kamala. Okay. She got honored at the White House later for her role in getting Joe Biden elected. But I want to show you what she actually was doing, because these people can't help themselves. They have to record everything. Watch.
Much. Y'all just don't even know. So just pray I maintain, keep this voters thing going, keep everything in the middle of the road, okay? All right, talk to y'all later. Ciao.
Ciao. Come on, lady.
Thing if nose and turtle it 3 times, that ain't gonna happen. So I let them do it. Yeah. Whew. So, hey Dion, what's going on? How are you?
You're a government worker.
Yeah. So, I got a lot of work to do, y'all. So I'm working 7 days a week, but I'm getting it done. I was out for 10 days because I ain't like the way things were going. So I just said, yeah. Anywho, I'll see y'all when I see you. I'm back.
You back.
Ready to work.
Let's go, girl.
I'm gonna let y'all see this. Okay, don't say nothing. Listen, look.
What is that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What is this? What's all that? What's all that? What's all that? Oh. Oh, okay.
So that's what's going on in Fulton County.
Absolutely. That's what's going on in Fulton County. Okay. Okay. that And this stuff, this is what's going on in Fulton County. This is wild.
Work to do this.
Look at all that. So they have been doing this, okay? And a lot of people, like I said, were calling this out. We're saying what they saw. People had been saying this. And people just didn't want to listen. You know, people didn't care. Just like we saw this video.
This table, the black one, was placed there by the lady with the blonde braids at about 8:22 a.m. in the morning. So she put that table there. So the same person who's staying behind now, the same person who cleared the place out under the pretense that we're going to stop counting, is the person who put the table there at 8:22 in the morning. Yeah, I saw 4 suitcases come out from underneath the table. Yeah, upper right hand, you see the gentleman in the red. So he just pulled one out. So what are these ballots doing there, separate from all the other ballots? And why are they only counting them whenever the place is cleared out with no witnesses? Is the question. So these machines can process about 3,000 ballots an hour. You have multiple machines there, and they're there for 2 hours. So you do the math. How many ballots went through those machines in those 2 hours when there was no one there to supervise, to be present, consistent with your statutes and rules, to supervise the tabulation? We believe.
We here at the Red Cup, we believe that probably all of them, okay? Only your mama's mama and maybe your baby's mama's mama went out to vote for Sleepy Joe. You did not vote for Sleepy Joe, all right? Now, I know the 92% voted for Kamala, but that don't really count. That's like that much, right? So where were these votes coming from? Where were they getting these votes? They got them from right there. That's where they got them. That's where they got them. They were, I mean, and we already knew this, okay? We're called election deniers. Meanwhile, you know, the liberals, they denied Trump the entire time, you know, Hillary Clinton, you know, but what do I know? We were called election deniers. And we were right. That's why I don't mind when people say, well, you always wear that Trump is right about everything. Yes. Yes. Essentially, yes. Okay. Sometimes he's a little weird about it. Sometimes he doesn't have all the information and he's talking here, there, and everywhere. But the consensus is usually correct. Okay. The premise, the start, the lead, whatever you want to call it, it's usually correct. And that's just the thing. And so if you get your bias out of the way, right? Because you don't have to like Donald Trump. I keep telling you guys that you don't have to like him. But if you get that out the way and really look at it, what they're doing is not just taking away, you know, from conservatives. It's taken away from Democrats. Democrats probably voted, I'm sure they voted for anybody other than Kamala, okay? I'm sure they voted for other people than, you know, Joe Biden. But they decided that they were going to take your votes and put them where they wanted them because they had a whole agenda for this country. And you may know never mind, even though you're on their quote unquote team. You may know never mind. So honestly and truly, as a conservative, I knew this happened. Who really should be mad again and again and again should be the Democrats, okay? Or people that vote Democrat, people that call themselves liberals or progressive. You should be really mad because that was the first time. And then the second time is when they told you, well, we don't have to bring it to a primary because we know what's best for you. Okay, Miss Curry is best for you. Okay. She's going to show you how to put the greens in the bathtub. Never mind what she's going to do with taxes. Never mind how she's going to tackle immigration. Never mind all that. She has other things to do. She has other fish to fry. That's who should be mad. Conservatives, we actually already knew this. We can see it. We can see it. But they didn't care. They absolutely didn't care. Okay? They absolutely didn't care. So now that is a whole big thing. And I do mean a big thing down in Georgia. They are investigating this tooth and nail. And I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm staring at this boxy building in South Fulton County, which is the county that's the epicenter of the 2020 election dispute that Donald Trump claims that he won. And I've watched several FBI agents walk in, walk out. I just saw Fulton County Clerk Shay Alexander and Fulton County Commission Chair Rob Pitts walk in. They wouldn't comment to a group of reporters as they walked in, but Shay Alexander has talked to one of my colleagues, and again, she's the clerk of the Fulton County court system, who says that the FBI was, I'm quoting here, FBI agents are here to get the 2020 ballots. So she says on the record that they are here to look at 2020 ballots.
Do they store 2020 ballots 4 years later? Would they still have those, Greg?
Of course.
That is the key question, and it's somewhat in dispute where they are stored, if they're stored at all, if they're stored here at this giant kind of warehouse building in South Fulton, or if they're stored at one of the other Fulton County sites, either in downtown Atlanta or elsewhere in this giant county. It's a very populous county of more than 1 million people, the largest and most populous county in Georgia, a Democratic stronghold. So that there's a question of whether or not the FBI can even get what they're seeking here, which is, again, what the clerk says, those 2020 ballots, if they're even here inside this building.
The liberals are calling each other, warning each other. They got their little whistles. You know how they have the whistles down there at the protest? That's what they got right now. They blow the whistle. They are blowing. Pause. They are doing this. They are doing this, right? Because they understand what's about to happen. Do I think someone will be held accountable? Sure. Someone on a lower level. Okay. Because, you guys, I'm no fool to think that there's not a hand behind the hand. Okay. But my purpose in showing things is to get you to understand there are things that you can't control and things that you can control. And that's why I loved when Donald Trump said, make it too big to rig. You got to show up in a way, because they're going to cheat. Okay. They're going to cheat. They're going to do whatever they want. They want their donors and their, the lobbyists and all their corporations to get what they want. But one thing that they can't do is get rid of the people when the people want their will to be done. So if you show up, if you actually are engaged, they can't do it. I remember in the last election, there were trucks pulling up and people were outside on watch. This 2020 stuff couldn't happen because people were outside on watch. Now, they might get more sophisticated, who knows? But what I'm telling you is you gotta be vigilant. You gotta get involved. I know a lot of people think, hey, voting doesn't work. Voting is this and that and the third. Okay, cool. I'm telling you, even though you think voting doesn't work, I'm telling you it does. They want you to think that. Because when you don't show up, it's almost like when you don't show up for a court hearing. Okay? When you don't show up for a court hearing, it's a default. They get to do what they want. But if you make them stand on business and you make them do what they say they were going to do when they were elected before or while they're trying to get elected, then now you have a different result. I know some people feel defeated on the right and the left, but you actually have to get out here and be involved, like involved, and know who's in control of your money, know who's in control of whatever you have going on in your county, because that is the problem. We are looking at whose hair we like the most. We're looking at, who has the best wicked jump shot. We're looking at all of this nonsense that absolutely makes no difference to your life. Because after you voted Kamala in, okay, after you did that, you're Saru. I think that's how you say it. After you did that, what changed? What got better? Absolutely nothing. Okay. They told you DEI and then Gucci boots. Okay. The white liberals came right and got it. It didn't even benefit the people it was supposed to benefit. The diversity went right on up to the Gucci boots. It's insane. So I don't understand why you wouldn't pay attention. Because my issue has never been people who disagree with my politics. My issue is with people who are ignorant to politics. And that's not a slight towards intellect. That's a slight towards not knowing purposely. Because this affects everybody. It's just like the universe. Whether you believe in it or not, it's going to happen. So why not be involved? Because these people, they believe in you. Absolutely. They can't wait to use you as collateral for all those loans that they're going to get, for all those NGOs, for all the illegals, okay? For everything that Kamala wants to do, okay? Her silk press, her pantsuit, and the billions that she gave to the Asian island, the Asian Pacific Islander community. Yeah. She did what she wanted to do because she could. And nobody stopped her because she's a Black woman. And that's why. We got to get out of that. We got to get out of identity politics and vote who is in our best interest. We got to get out of that nonsense. It's insane. You guys, I am going to end it. I'm going to do super chats. But before I do all that, I just wanted to play this last video because this woman is absolutely insane. I'm going to do a video on her because I'm telling you right now, Tiffany Cross is on my everlasting nerve. Everything is white supremacy, and that's fine. But everybody is white supremacy, even if they're Black. Okay? Even if they're Hispanic. It's just, it's insane. And they never have any solutions. Okay? They never have any solutions. I want you to see the insaneness that is Tiffany Cross. Okay? If you don't know, she is that other crazy lady's friend, Angela Rye. Here we go. I think I have to restart it. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go.
The fact that Tom Homan is coming there and he's supposed to be this voice of reason, that gives me zero confidence. First of all, he's a full-throated election denier. He's just as bad as half the other people. He's just as bad as Kristi Noem, the puppy killer.
Received a medal from Barack Obama.
So what? If he received a message from or a medal from Barack Obama, that is wrong. And I can say Barack Obama is wrong. That's the difference between being a rational person and a member of a cult where you cannot call out a leader who's doing something wrong. I don't support any leader who tolerates violence and policies like this. Tom Homan is a huge problem. He also is on record as having met with the Proud Boys on several occasions, which again makes me question who are some of these people. The Proud Boy thing is, I think that there are some people who are aligned ideologically with people who espouse racist beliefs and have been given a weapon to go out and, and police the streets of Minnesota. The fact that Tom Homan is coming there.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is Tiffany Cross on Abby's Bowheaded Reasoning program, Abby Phillips Tonight on CNN. It's absolutely insane. But I'll be doing a video on that. But I just wanted to play that one because it absolutely shows that they moved the goalposts, okay? When it's Barack Obama, it's, I don't care that he was under Barack Obama. No, address that. Address that. You have to address where these policies came from because you were totally fine with it being Barack Obama. It's easy to now dismiss it because Barack Obama is no longer in office. And because he's no longer in office, we can just, say, well, that was wrong. Well, you didn't criticize him then, so I don't want to hear it now. Because if it was Donald Trump, they would be saying the same thing. Tiffany Cross is like most liberals who fancy themselves to be on the right side of history when absolutely we should be America first. But they put others before Americans and then tell you that, hey, that's what it means to be American. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are American. We do things for Americans first. And, if we have something to give later, then fine. But you take care of your home first. You protect your house first. You do for the people here first. There are vets that are homeless. There are children that are starving. There are children that need homes. There are all kinds of things happening in America that we could be using our money for. So I do not care when I hear people complain about ICE. You can complain about the tactics. That's fine. You can complain about some of the policies. I told you, get engaged. But what you won't say, at least not to me, is that we should abolish ICE because we have every right as a citizen of the United States to want to be protected, to safeguard our liberties, and to control who's using our tax dollars. And that's that. And anybody that says otherwise is whatever you want to call it. Some call it opposition. I call it stupid opposition. But nevertheless, it works the same. It works against you, and it even works against themselves. Because the agenda that they want is not going to benefit anybody but the state. And I mean that in totality. So, you guys, thank you so much for pulling up. I appreciate you. I really do. Let me go ahead and see if I miss any super chats because I don't want to do that. And again, thank you guys so much for supporting the show. The Genius CEO with the $5 super chat. Let's get the super chats up, everybody. We need Mika streaming on schedule. We need Mika streaming on schedule. She has been putting in this work. So let's support her and her content. I appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. I mean, I think I'm at a point now where I'm probably going to go ahead and, start doing more live streams through the week and, maybe some videos on the weekend if I can fit those in. But you guys, let's go ahead and do roll call because I appreciate everybody. And we are at the hour-and-a-half mark. So I know you guys want to go snuggle up. It's cuffing season. It's very cold outside. And, You want to snuggle? Let's go ahead and get this roll call done. I want to say thank you to everybody that pulled up, the Junior CEO, Junior, MAGA 7K, Lone Star, Joseph David, Menelik, Got Flavor, James Robertson, Callie Bass, Jordan, The Legend of Nick, Jada Sports, J Legend, I'm sorry, The Legend. Did I just jack that all up? Because I'm moving too fast. Jada Legend Sports, thank you so much. Artifacts, thank you. Who else? AR Smitty, Cowboy Meach, 106 in Porch. 106 in Porch. Angela Rye. Yeah, she's definitely one of those. Ginger and Juice. Okay. Jeff Moffitt. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Loud and Clear. Who else? Rowdy 23. Dion. Let's see. I am Ruckus Nephew. Lone Star. Raider. Alton Bryce 1632. Alyssa Little. FK Simps. Not a Nowhere. These names. Britt Williams 74. Ocho 5. Sierra Henderson. Let's see. Jordan World 777. Stu. Oh man, we just got Frankie. I think I got a lot of you guys. Car. Junior. Let's see here. I think I got a lot of you guys. Jay. Sam King. J Man. Who else? Cruz Zeal. Thank you so much. I think I did get a lot of you guys. Shout out to Mike That Dude. And let me just make sure I didn't miss anybody over here. I'm trying to get better at it. Okay, I got it. All right, you guys. I think I got most of you guys. So thank you so much, you guys, for pulling up. I appreciate everything as always. And you guys, let me know down in the chat as well what you would like to talk about. I want to have some live streams that are specifically focused on one topic. So I'm going to start some of those. And I'm still going to be bringing people on the platform. All right. They can keep saying whatever they want. We know what we do here. And we're going to continue to keep growing because that's what we're due. Thank you, Outlaw. Thank you, Construct Icon. Executive Suite MLE. Mr. Don. Spaces. You guys. Quan 345. Yeah, I really appreciate all you guys. Chico Stick. Hollow. No Face. Gosh. Chris Monroe SDL. 320 Bush. Yeah. You guys, thank you. Jay, the Soul Child, all of, what is that? Other Alan, Bernie, Bernard, Charlie, all you guys. Thank you. I appreciate you. It's your girl, Mika. And you guys, at the end of the day, be well to each other. Be nice. Stay off the internet gossip sites, because I see some of y'all. Spend time with your loved ones. Till next time, it's your girl, Mika. And I'm out. Peace. Bye.